Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to the video lecture number 7. In this video lecture, I am going to discuss a new concept with you. This is another expression for integrated rate or for first order reaction. And in this video lecture, this is a long question. I am going to discuss in detail how to derive the integrated expression for first order reactions. Clear? So without doing late, as always, let's get started. So now see here, first of all, before going to discuss the integrated expression for first order reaction, we should know what are first order reactions. I have already discussed with you what are order of reactions, what are their types, and what are the examples. And simply in this case, I am going to discuss the definition of first order reaction and how to derive its integrated expression. So first order reactions are those in which rate of the reaction depends only on the concentration of one reactant. Only on the concentration of one reactant. Clear? Got my point? So consider a first order reaction. Let us consider a first order reaction. A gives rise to P. That means reactant A gives rise to product P. So suppose initially when the time t is 0, only reactant is present. That means the concentration of reactant is A and that of product is 0. And after time t second, suppose X amount of A is consumed, X amount of A, that means reactant is consumed, that means the remaining concentration of reactant is A minus X and that of the amount of product formed is X. The concentration of product is X. So according to the rate law, rate of reaction is given by rate is minus dA. That means decrease in concentration of reactant A divided by time taken. That means small change in time, which is proportional to the concentration of A because it depends only on the concentration of one reactant. So it proportional to the concentration of reactant A. And hence now we can write this expression as rate is equal to minus dA by dt. When we remove the proportionality constant, we have proportionality sign, we have to multiply a proportionality constant. That means minus dA by dt is equal to minus Ka concentration. This is equation 1 where K is proportionality constant because we are giving the sign K by removing the proportionality constant, proportionality sign. Or we can write the expression or equation 1 as minus dA by A concentration, taking the same terms, same concentration terms to one side. Minus dA by A concentration is equal to K dt. By taking integration on both sides, we have minus whole over integration of initial dA by dt, initial concentration A0 to final concentration of A is equal to minus K, taking the proportionality constant K outside the integration constant, taking integration dt from time t0 to time t. We can write this expression as like this, or this expression can be written as minus the formula for dA by A concentration, dx by x integration is ln x. I have written the formula over here. So or we can write this expression as minus ln A concentration minus A0 concentration, initial concentration minus final concentration, final minus initial, is equal to K into T minus 0, or whenever we multiply the minus sign with these terms, we can write this as ln A0 minus ln A concentration, is equal to KT, or ln x minus ln y. The formula for ln x minus ln y, ln x minus ln y is ln x by y, x by y, ln x by y. So we can write this as ln a0 concentration by a concentration is equal to kt, is equal to kt. Or simply putting the value of a0 and a concentration in equation 3, we have the value for a0, we have taken the value for a0 as initial concentration A, and in concentration, the value of concentration A as a minus x after time t second. The value of a concentration changed to a minus x, so we can write it as ln a by a minus x is equal to kt. This is equation 4. This is equation 4. So simply we can write it as a0 by a or a by a minus x. This is equation 4, and this expression is called the integrated expression for first order reaction. Integrated rate expression for first order reaction. And if we put a graph between ln a concentration and time taken t, then the curve will be a decreasing order curve. The nature of the curve will be like this. So you have to practice this and practice the formula as well. The formula for first order reaction is this, and simply go through the textbook and do some examples that are given in the textbook, because it is not possible for me to do some examples over here, because I am running through illness and I am at home. So whenever I will at Bhadrak, I will definitely do some examples for you. So don't worry about that. So now it's time to derive the expression for half-life period. So before deriving the expression for half-life period, we should write the definition of half-life period as we have written in our expression for integrated expression for zero order reaction. So it is the time required, for the reaction to be half completed. It is the time required for the reaction to be half completed. Half-life period is that at which half of the concentration of reactant is consumed. Half of the concentration of reactant is consumed and is denoted by T half. So at when T is equal to T half, when the time is decreased to half, then the concentration is changed to in half of the initial concentration, Substituting these values in equation 4, we can write it as k into, in place of t, we can write it as t half is equal to ln a by a minus, in place of x we can write it as a by 2, and whenever we take the LCM, we can write it as k is equal to 1 by t half into ln 2a by 2a minus a, which is equal to 1 by t half ln 2, whose value, the value of ln 2 is 0.693. Therefore we can write the expression for half-life period as t half is equal to 0.693 by k. See, in this case, in case of first order reaction, the expression for half-life period is independent of initial concentration. That means equation 5 is the expression for half-life period for first order reaction, and from the above expression it has been found that half-life period is independent. Half-life period is independent of the initial concentration of the reactant. Half-life period is independent of the initial concentration of the reactant. So if a graph is drawn between half-life period and initial concentration, then definitely half-life period will be independent of initial concentration. Whatever the initial concentration, whatever the value of initial concentration, the value of half-life period will remain constant. The value of half-life period will remain constant. Then the nature of the curve will be like this. The nature of the curve will obtain like this. So this is all for today, and hope you will enjoy this video, like this video, and do subscribe this video so that you can get the notifications of every video I make, and you can go read properly. And if you are running, if you run through any doubt, then you can comment me. I will definitely answer you, and I will try to improve my video lectures. Thank you. God bless you all. That's all for today. Thank you.